Whenever I enter into a project with someone who can work with software, I know there's lots of options, which is similar to improvisation. I think I appreciate being able to interact or create situations where you can react live and also maybe unveil some things about movement through the software.
So right now, if I set the threshold above the velocity and then you guys move, should trigger an event that goes to Lisa. So let's try that. You got it?
Yeah, so it's changing the harmonies.
You guys can relax. So one of the things that Lisa and I have been working on is trying to create interplay between different audio and visual modules. So in theory, when we get a sudden burst of motion, as we've been trying to work with, we'll maybe get some perceptible audio event.
One of the things we thought was particularly interesting was the idea of tracking the movements of a dancer, specifically when you have more than one. And to do that, we started developing a physical system where we turn each skeleton essentially to assign it physical properties. So our ultimate idea is that hopefully we're going to be able to put a group of dancers into a space based on the data. And those dancers, as they interact, are going to perhaps produce something different, whether it's a visual, maybe show you different sort of patterns.
Jump 3 times. Lie down. Stand up. Rotate your shoulders. Smile like you mean it.
At land, looking at ways and how to embody the internet.
WebRTC technology allows us maybe to create something that will give other performers or creators or artists the possibility to create something together, even though they're distant and apart, either if it's to create for this specific medium or just use the medium as a rehearsal space.
And what I ended up making is a bit of a game. So I can basically send a verbal instruction to any player in the circle by typing it into a little text key here and hitting a send button. Once that instruction is sent to an individual player, I can have it automatically loop around the circle in canon.
But I think that because we're oriented this way, you can say that closed is like the front is closed.
We had Barrett and Emily both put on the mocap suit and talk over it as they improvised. So we came up with a nice long list of these different descriptors. I guess the end goal would be to have these higher level ways of thinking about the movement rather than, the right hand is low now and now it's high, so we're going to alter a filter in some way, but sort of maybe move, if one part of the body is closed versus open versus light movement versus weighted movement, bound movement, all of these things could come into play.
Barrett was talking about negative space and how it's not just what a dancer is doing with the body. It's not just that I'm moving my arms, but I'm carving negative space around you. So we were trying to decide how to visualize all of that negative space so I can come together and it's not just my arms moving, I'm creating all this space around me.
We were really interested in using visual scores as a way for dancers to inspired their movements.
So we took that in a sort of both realistic and surrealistic approach to our little project here, in which the performer interacts with the space around them by colliding practically with invisible boxes around them, and that changes their environment.
The body turns out to be a controller.
Yes.
And that's very interesting, and I'm hoping that's also very interesting for dancers.
Deborah Hayes' piece is not about the movement of the body itself, but the cells of the body. So I wanted to somehow visualize the cell or some kind of particle, and I chose this physical particle instead of virtual particles.
There's a way to visualize the center of mass of just those body parts that are turned on. So you can look at the momentum of just your arm versus only the center of mass of your whole body, or one point. So that's a useful tool in looking at the actual physical parameters of movement.
We ended up getting away from the idea of mapping a dancer to visuals on screen because then there's that conflict of, is the dancer responsible for creating visuals on screen, or are they responsible for dancing in an interesting way? And so we tried to separate those roles out a little bit more, but also build in some live controls. So we made a little iPad app.
The interaction between the movement and the movement, I think we've determined that it's going to be sort of live creation of scenography or background.
So our goal is creating kind of invisible object in the space. And then, so we didn't want to have like this kind of visual feedback. We just want to have sound feedback so that dancers can concentrate on hot dance.